Hi, everybody. My name is Ron Goldman, and I'm with Arizona Elder Care. Our website is www.arizonaeldercare.com. And today I want to talk to you about three things that you must consider before you hire a non-medical home care agency. I want to tell you a story about a gentleman who I worked with. Before we got involved with him, he was living with his wife. They were living home alone. They had retired here, and his wife started to decline. So he finally decided that he could no longer take care of take care of her himself. And what happened is he found a private lady to come in and help him take care of his wife. So she was around for quite a bit of time, and as she declined and finally passed away, by the time she passed away, he started to need some additional help himself. Well, so he obviously decided he was going to keep this lady on, and he's kept her on over this period of time. And what's happened is she's started to isolate this gentleman from his family. He's getting more and more dependent on her. She is isolating him further and further. She will not let the family talk to him every time the family calls. There's a problem. He's in the bathroom. He can't come to the phone. He's not feeling well, etc., etc. So this goes on for quite some time before somebody actually comes out from his family to check on her. This caregiver had hired an agency because at this point the gentleman needed 24-hour care. And she had hired an agency to come in and help fill in the shifts that she was unable to cover. She was paying herself, she was paying the agency, all out of this gentleman's resources with no supervision and no rules or ethics to live under. So what happened was eventually the family showed up. The caregiver intercepted them at the driveway, would not let them in the house. They eventually had to go get an attorney, and it escalated, etc., etc. Turns out eventually she had written herself into the will for approximately 75% of his estate, which was quite significant. And so he got help from his family. They sent her away. There was no legal action taken against her. She never received any of the money, so no harm, no foul. Off she goes back out into the wild blue yonder without really any real consequences to potentially prey on another person. So those are the kinds of things that can happen when you hire people kind of off the street. So here's the three things I think you really need to consider before you hire anybody. First, recognize if you're hiring a private individual off of Craigslist or out of the newspaper, you really don't know anything about them. You don't know their history, you don't know their background, you don't know if they have a drug history or criminal history. Have they just moved to the state? Have they done these exact kinds of things before and gotten caught? But there's no consequence because there was never any theft involved. Two, make sure if you're going to hire an agency, they're working under some sort of licensure. Here in the state of Arizona, home care agencies, non-medical home care agencies, do not have any licensure or supervision. So anybody can decide they want to be a non-medical home care agency and just put a shingle up and start doing it and trying to find clients. And finally, ask if the agency is working with caregivers that are their employees or are they just contracted labor. There's a lot more risk when they're an employee. There's a lot more responsibility that the company is saddled with if they use employees versus if they use independent contractors. Not to mention the fact that if there's independent contractors, you'll need to 1099 them at the end of the year, which may or may not be so easy because a lot of these independent folks want to be paid cash so that they can make more money. So finally, if you have any questions or if you want to talk about your specific situation, please don't hesitate to call. My phone number is 928-639 1583, 928-639-1583, or if you want to know more about us, you can certainly go to our website, which is www.arizonaeldercare.com. It's all spelled out, and I look forward to hearing from you. If there's anything I can do, I'm here to help. Thanks.